Hey, how you doing? Happy New Year. Welcome to this week's One Image My Edit, and in this week's tutorial I'm going to be showing you another way that you can sharpen your image using Adobe Lightroom and Photoshop. If you've not already heard yet, then I am holding a free 5-day challenge which starts on January the 10th, and it is the Business to Photography Challenge. It's going to be a good week. Come over there and join if you want to get a little bit more insight on running a photography business or indeed starting a business. It's going to be really good fun. All the details of that are in the comments below. Okay, so on with this tutorial. So what we've got here is an image, and I want to sharpen this up a little bit because you can see it's slightly soft. We might want some of the details around the eyes and lips and nose just to be that little bit sharper, and of course within Lightroom we can do that. So if you come to your detail panel here, and let's just increase that sharpness to around say 55, something like that. We can increase the radius, so the pixel radius, to say 1. You could probably go to 1.5 around there as well if you wanted to. Let's increase the detail up to around 30, and most importantly, let's click on the mask and hold the Option key down and then increase that, and that is just going to sharpen the white areas. So that means that if there's any noise within the picture, then we're not going to be sharpening that. We're just sharpening the main parts of the image. So now we've done that, we can kind of, if we press the Y key, we can see a little bit of a before and after. We can see that we've managed to sharpen the image quite a bit. It's done a fairly good job there. But if we want to take this to the next level, then we need to bring this into Photoshop. So all we need to do is simply right click, select edit in, and then edit in Photoshop. And then we want to edit a copy with the Lightroom adjustments, click edit, and that will then bring it into Photoshop for us. And now we can start messing around with this and using a few different other tools to really bring out the sharpness of the image. So the first thing I want to do is I want to add or duplicate this layer. So make sure your layer panel is open. If it's not there, just go to Window and then select Layers, but it should automatically open. Now I'm going to press Command J just to duplicate that image, and from here what I want to do is turn this image into black and white. So there's a short key for that. It's Command Shift and U. So if you press that, you can see it turns it to black and white, and this just helps us concentrate the area of sharpness. It just helps us view it a lot easier. So I'm going to come up to the top now, and what we want to do is be going to Filter and then go to Other and then select High Pass. So we've used this before. We've used the High Pass filter before. And what this enables us to do is just select an area, a radius of our image. So the pixels down here. Now, we don't want to be going up to this sort of range. We want to be down to around, 2, 3 is probably going to be the maximum you want to go to. This image here, you can see some of the details not coming through as much. So we could increase that a little bit more, but most of the time you're probably going to be around 1.5 to 3, around there. That's going to be probably the maximum you want to go to, but it really depends on each individual image. So I'm going to say OK to that. Now what I want to do is duplicate this layer. So I'm going to press Command J, and that again will duplicate that layer. So I'm going to switch off the top layer, and I'm going to do that just by clicking on the eyeball here. There we go. And then I'm going to click on the layer below. And now what I want to do is I want to change the blend mode to soft light. And what this will do, if we click up here where the blend mode is, what this will do is just give us a real soft, fine level of sharpening. And of course we can change the opacity. If we do that, we can see that as we do that, the effect is going down. So if I zoom in a little bit closer, you'll be able to see. So come up to the opacity, and you can see that is without, and that's with. So it's a very subtle fine tune. So then if we click on the top layer, so click on the box here where the eye is, select the actual top layer, and then what we want to do with this is change the blend mode to overlay. Now what this is going to do is give us a little bit more of a heavy level of sharpening, and it's going to really sharpen a lot of the larger areas. So again, if we click on the opacity, we can bring this down. If I bring it down to 0, you can see the difference in what that is doing, and it's quite a big effect there. So again, you could bring the opacity down overall to say 75%. Same with the one underneath. So if we turn that top layer off again, bring the opacity down to around say 70, 75. That's usually a good method, because it means you're not over sharpening the image. Now what you can do as well, just to really take out the sting of the sharpening within the white areas, so the highlights, is to double click on this top layer here, and this brings up the layer style. And if you come down to the bottom here, you've got the blend if slider, and we want to select the underlying layer. So if you hold the option key down and click on the triangle, you can then split these whites. So I'm going to click there and I'm going to slide these up, and what this is going to do is just take out that sting in the white areas there. It's a really subtle adjustment, but it makes for a big impact at the end. It's just a fine adjustment, so we can press OK to that. And what that's going to do is just make sure that the highlight areas are not as harsh. Okay, so once we've done that, we can then merge these down together if we wanted to. So we can press just hold the shift key down, click on the next layer there, and we could group them together if we wanted to as well. Command G, that will group them, and then we can just change the opacity for both if we want to, so we can just really fine tune that. So if we come to the history, I'm going to come down to the bottom here, click on the little camera icon, and you're now going to see the before and after. So there is the before and there is the after, and you can see there it does a really good job of sharpening all them details. If we look up to the hair, if I come in, I'm now at 100%, so you can see there's the before, there's the after. It makes a big difference, and this is just another way of using these high pass filters and just being able to get really tack sharp images. So I hope that's helped. I hope you enjoyed that. Again, this is just another way, another method of using high pass filters to really sharpen up your images. So have a play with that, see how you get along, and hopefully that will really help your images and make them look tack sharp. So I will see you on the next one. Take care. Bye bye.